Welcome to the Accomplish More podcast, created specifically for the small business owner who doesn't think small. I'm your host, Gayla Scrivener. This show is where you'll learn practical ideas, hints, tips, and tricks to help you grow your small business where you can leverage your time and to accomplish more. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Accomplish More podcast. I'm your host, Gayla Scrivener. You know, it's been a whirlwind of a week. Last week at this time, I was in St. Louis attending a user conference for the CRM that I use. It's called Less Annoying CRM. Cute name, isn't it? Well, I think so. And I have to say, it is actually less annoying than other systems I've worked with. And if you don't know what a CRM is, it stands for Customer Relationship Management System. Just in case you're still not sure what that means, that's perfectly okay. You're not alone. CRMs are databases where you are able to not only store your contacts, but it is a powerful tool that enhances your workflow. If you are only storing your contacts in your phone, or as a Google contact, or even in an Excel spreadsheet, you are missing out on a huge efficiency opportunity by not using a CRM. My intent on today's podcast episode really isn't to win you over in selecting a CRM for your business. Although it is my belief that if you don't have one, no matter how new you are to your business or how small you are, it should be one of the first systems you should implement. Working with a variety of clients, I've worked with a variety of CRM systems. As VAs, my team and I are flexible, and we work with the systems that our clients have. But sometimes clients may ask us about systems to implement or systems that I have experience with. Most of the time, I recommend Less Annoying CRM. Now, some people are in industries where I may recommend an industry-specific CRM because of the features they offer, that it's directly related to the industry that they are in. But for the most part, Less Annoying CRM is great for the small business owner because it's affordable, it has some customization that is perfect for small businesses, and best of all, it's simple and less annoying to use. Okay, again, my intent is not to talk the entire show about LACRM. Okay, I guess in a way it is. But what I really wanted to talk about is the importance of investing in going to live events. No matter what industry you're in, going to live events on a regular basis helps you in many ways. First, you get out of your bubble. I'm sure it's not just me. I think most of us get caught up in our own little bubble of running and growing our own business. We have our daily routines. We put up our blinders and stick to checking things off of our to-do lists. We feel compelled to do more every day. If we aren't careful, we'll soon feel like that little hamster on the wheel, spinning around and around and not getting anywhere. The first couple of years when I was in business for myself, I didn't really go to live events. Quite honestly, first starting out, I didn't feel like I could afford to go. I told myself I need to keep those blinders up and just plow through the work that I had and just find more work. I also didn't really have my eye out on what live event or conference would be good to attend. In a way, I did go to live events. I went to local events. I attended some educational seminars in my local area, and that's good. I guess I did dabble in these live events, but these live events were local, and much of the time, I knew many of the individuals attending because of my local networking group. But to truly get out of your bubble, I think it's important to get away. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your normal surroundings. I made it a point to start making the investment of time and money to break out of the norm and attend at least one conference a year way outside of my geographical area. For the past couple of years, I had attended a copywriting event in Franklin, Tennessee. Those had been so valuable. I was planning to go again this year, but the timing of the event overlapped with something else that I was already committed to do, so I had to throw that one out. I was delighted to see that Less Annoying CRM was going to have their very first user conference. I thought it would be great to learn some more stuff about the system, meet people at LACRM, and others who actually use the system. I think I signed up for it in February, so I was committed. But weeks and months had passed, and as the time grew closer, my schedule got crazy. Isn't that always the case? I had some things in my personal life come up where I began to feel like I was getting behind in my work. I began to think I shouldn't go. Maybe I should just stay home and plow through the work that I had on my desk. But I already made the investment. And wouldn't that be money wasted if I didn't go? So making that investment for that event way back in February really held me accountable to actually go. As I recall, for any event that I go to, right before I get ready to go, I feel this pressure of the pile of work in front of me and a tinge of guilt that if I'm leaving to go to this conference, maybe I shouldn't go. I've signed up for it, but there's so much work to do. Every time I suck it up because I know that I've got to get out of my bubble. I also know that there's always going to be work to do, and that's just an excuse to not go. So this time wasn't any different than the past few years. I had mixed emotions about going, guilt that all my work wasn't totally complete, but again, really, it will never be totally done, right? And I was also feeling a little bit of excitement about going because of the new things that I would learn about my CRM. So, the first thing that's important for a live event is that you get out of your bubble. But the second most important thing is that you make new friends. Networking is crucial in growing your business. When I first started my own business, I knew I had to get out there and meet people. I found a local networking group. It's a group that has industry-exclusive chapters and weekly meetings to solicit referrals. This kind of group has been truly beneficial in my journey because I was new as an entrepreneur, coming from 20 years in the corporate world where I had never had any marketing experience. Well, at least that's what I thought. At the time, I didn't realize that I had a ton of experience with marketing or networking because in my corporate life, I was networking with other departments, other offices, and vendors to build influence and credibility. That's the same thing we do in our own businesses. We network to build influence. Now, I would go to my networking group's live events. It was good for me because I gained confidence as I began to meet and become friends with more people in my community. But attending a conference outside of your geographical area is golden to meet new friends. You may choose a conference where everyone is in your same industry, or you may choose an event where the attendees are from a wide range of company types. Every time I go to a conference, I am surprised about how many different types of businesses there are out there. I'm amazed and energized to realize how many different ways people can earn a living and what kind of products there are out there. Going to the Less Annoying CRM user conference was no different. My eyes were open to all the possibilities that their system has to serving all the different industries it serves. The industries that weren't new to me, and I knew that Less Annoying CRM would be really beneficial for things like accountants, insurance agents, attorneys, financial advisors, landscapers. But I was surprised that LACRM also served manufacturing companies, fire extinguisher service companies, even a company who makes twist ties. I loved it. I didn't know anyone when I arrived at the conference. I left there having made many great connections. I may never see them again, but I do want to stay in touch with them. We have a thread of commonality. We all use LACRM. But more than that, we are all small businesses. I like that. We work a little differently than a big corporation does. We seem to be closer to our customers, and we think more in line of relationships than widgets. Things just seem more personal. That's what I liked about the conference last week in St. Louis. I had some wonderful conversations with some amazing people. Have you ever been to a conference where some folks seem to corner you and want business from you? How does that make you feel? I don't know about you, but I hate feeling cornered. I barely know someone and they expect me to buy from them? Really? What's up with that? When I see them again at that conference, I tend to try my best to avoid them. Don't be that person at the conference trying to gather up everyone's business card just to corner them later for a hard sell. Genuine relationship building is the best type of networking. Most of the time at educational conferences, there are few and far between people that corner me. Thank goodness. Last week, I felt I had some wonderful and genuine conversations with small businesses just like me, where we could just be real with each other. I gathered some business cards to stay in touch because I truly enjoyed our conversation. I'll reach out to them periodically and hope to see them at a future LACRM conference. I'd like to think that I've made some nice new friends. Making new connections can be beneficial in many ways. Not just to do business with that person or for that person to pass you referrals, but also bringing me to the third reason for going to a live event. You gain a different perspective. Having conversations with other attendees makes the wheels in your head turn. You see how others handle things or work things out, and ideas begin to spark for you. You may get advice from someone that has the same experiences that you've had. You find out that others may struggle in the same areas you struggle. You can have candid conversations about things, learn from them, and offer your knowledge. I don't think you have to worry about competition because in an atmosphere of learning, we are a bit vulnerable because we're out of our bubble, right? We may not know anyone, or at the very least, we may not know very many people in attendance. It's so refreshing to have a new perspective from someone that is totally outside view. They don't have the same baggage that we have that clouds our vision to a solution. Go to the conference with an open mind. Talking with very different types of companies from your own is by far super valuable. Don't think that you and your industry is so different from every other industry that they can't offer help to you. What people do in other types of companies and how they've overcome some challenges will give you nuggets of information that could be very beneficial to help you break out of your rut that you may be feeling. Openness to different perspectives, that may be what I think is most important. Now let's go into the fourth reason to going to a conference. It's beneficial because you learn stuff. Well, of course, that may be super obvious, but sometimes we think we're going to a live event to learn something, but when we actually get into the sessions, we close our minds. We may say to ourselves or think to ourselves, I already know that stuff. What happens when we do that to ourselves is we don't get the full benefit of the event. We become judgmental, and probably our minds are elsewhere, perhaps going back to the piles of work on our desks. When going to a conference, be at the conference. Keep your mind in each session. Keep an open mind. Even if you have heard similar content or teachings before, you will hear something new, but only with an open mind. You'll hear something that will trigger ideas, but only if your mind is open. You will be validated that you are on the right track and be open to, going back to my previous point, you'll be open to new perspectives. But these sparks won't happen if you go into the session with a closed mind and telling yourself, I already know this. So don't do that to yourself. I really didn't have any idea how the LACRM conference was going to be arranged or what I would learn before I went. I was nose deep in my work and barely looked at the reminders to know where I needed to be and what time I needed to be there. Once I got there and signed in, I was there. I turned off the outside world. Every session was valuable. There were breakout sessions, and it was so hard to choose which ones to attend because I wanted to attend every single one. I ended up going to a couple of sessions about content marketing. Some of the content was pretty basic, and I could have said, I already know that. I've been studying that for how many years? But I took everything the presenters had to say in. It gave me reassurance that what I was currently doing for my own business and for my clients, for that matter, was very much on target. But I also gained a great deal more. I was introduced to new tools and new strategies. I also attended a session about creating your value proposition statement. I've heard that before. I've been in sessions, I've read books about that, but it was presented in a way I have never experienced before. Things clicked for me. I was thinking a new way. Those sessions didn't have anything to do with LACRM's product. What I loved is that LACRM serves small businesses. And what they provided was value in their conference by fitting into what exactly we, as small business owners, needed most. We need to know ourselves well. We need to know our customers well and build genuine relationships to grow our businesses. Now, they also had system training to show us shortcuts or little-known features with their system. And for me, who is a database nerd, my mind was blown. I saw many ways to apply what I learned in my business to streamline my processes, but it also gave me ideas to share with my clients who also use LACRM. We also had one-on-one coaching, which, again, my mind was blown. That half hour went super fast, but I got a ton of value. So then finally, going to a live event, you gain renewed energy. I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm excited to have attended. All of these conversations and sessions that get your mind flowing, the ideas give you just this renewed energy and excitement about your business. And if you don't get away and you stay in your same routine with your blinders on, you will lose steam. You will feel like that little hamster in the wheel going around and around and going nowhere. The spirit and excitement that a live event creates gives you the renewal you need to keep going. You have a fresh, new outlook and new ideas to implement. I can't tell you how pleased and honored I am to have attended Less Annoying CRM's first user conference. I believe that they need to continue this endeavor. Now, I recognize that putting on an event like this is a tremendous amount of work. Now, being that this was their first event, I think that they limited it to about 50 participants. I liked the smaller group. I liked the setup of everything and how we were able to have plenty of time to make new friends. I like the fact that we could meet many members of the LACRM team and just have good old-fashioned conversations. I'm sure someday their conferences will grow to be hundreds and hundreds of users. And I'm confident that they'll still be able to pull off that, that small town feel where everyone seems to be open and friendly. Now, there's something to be said about maintaining energy and momentum in your business. Let's face it, it is hard to be in business for yourself. You get tired, you lose steam. That's why it is important to invest in yourself so that you can keep up your momentum. And that means taking a break from your normal routine and your normal workflow and gaining new perspective. Oh, and don't forget, take a break altogether and get some rest. I think some of us just forget to do that. Both rest and perspective will fill your energy bucket with ideas to keep you going. Now, mainly, I've talked about the importance of going to a live event outside of your geographical area. And I did touch on belonging to a local networking group. Both, I believe, are very valuable. But another very important investment that I truly believe in is online education and networking. Becoming a part of an online community helps you learn skills, whereas you may not feel like you have time to go to a traditional class, but you also have the opportunity to participate in forums and discussion groups and create conversations. You learn not only from the instruction classes or coaching, but you learn from other participants because, similar to live events, you gain perspective and energy. I actively participate in online education of various types because much of the content I can do on my own schedule. And other parts of the content, like live coaching calls, for example, are wonderful because it holds me accountable to showing up and taking time out of my day, even if it's just for an hour, to gain perspective and get my mind churning with new ideas. It keeps me motivated on a continuous basis. One thing that I've found as I work with other small business owners is that some are intimidated by technology. They aren't tapping into the resources that they have at their fingertips that is affordable and obtainable to become more efficient in their businesses. They struggle. They tell themselves that they aren't good with computers, so they let their fear of technology hold them back. Every person I've met who has been intimidated with computers and working with different programs and not understanding how things like social media, websites, email marketing, and things like that, how they work together. Every person who's been intimidated by computers like that, they're smart. Very smart. Each one has the capability. They don't have to let their fear of tech hold them back. Knowing the gist and knowing the basics will help them determine if certain things like social media posting, should they do that themselves or should they delegate it? If they do it themselves for a while, then when they are ready to delegate the task, they will be more confident and better equipped to manage the process. Why am I telling you all this? Well, it has been bothering me for quite some time to see very smart business owners struggle because they don't have the confidence to know what systems or tools to use, and they are at that place where they feel like they can't delegate yet. They are in this middle ground. All they want is some simple instruction and to be steered in the right direction. They need coaching to keep them motivated and a place where they can ask questions, no matter how basic, without feeling like they're being judged or feeling like an amateur. That's why I've been really busy developing the Accomplish More Academy. It's an online community developed just for that person who wants straightforward training, encouragement, accountability, and peer camaraderie to spur ideas and gain confidence to use the technology that everyone else seems to be using and becoming more productive and scaling their business. Okay, an online community for those who aren't comfortable with tech. Am I a little bit crazy? Maybe, but I've been told many times that I seem to have a knack in breaking things down and simplifying even some of the most complicated processes into easy to understand chunks. I genuinely want to see everyone succeed and just hate to see folks struggle just because they have that mindset that they aren't good with computers. What I like to do is break things down and teach the basics and help you create systems so that you will find and have that confidence to either do the task yourself or to manage it better when the time comes that you're ready to delegate. There's a time that many micro businesses or solopreneurs will do everything themselves before they venture out and ask for help. Just because you're a solopreneur doesn't mean that you should be in a cocoon. The Accomplish More Academy is a place to get out of your comfort zone and overcome your intimidation with computers and know that you aren't alone. Your questions and conversations are welcome as you build relationships with others who are experiencing some of the same challenges. You'll spur ideas and spark energy off of each other. Now, live events, local networking, and online community membership all serves the purpose of investing in yourself with education, perspective, and most of all, making connections, and I dare say making new friends. I'm glad I didn't keep my blinders on a few weeks ago and stay and keep nose deep in my work. I'm glad I went to the Less Annoying CRM user conference because I can't tell you how pleased I am with the whole experience. We are taking our conversation online, and I'm excited about that. I hope to continue those conversations that started last week at the conference, and I look forward to hoping to see some of those people back and see how they're doing. Now, if you are looking for renewed energy, have some accountability in moving forward in your business, and especially if you fear techie stuff, I encourage you to invest in yourself. I invite you to go to accomplishmoreacademy.com to learn more. And you can always drop me a note at podcast@scrivenersolutions.com. That's podcast at SCRIVENER solutions.com. If you have any specific questions to see if the Accomplish More Academy would be right for you. You see, the live events and online community, it really works together to keep that momentum going with renewed energy in your business. Now, I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you hop over to the show notes by going to scrivenersolutions.com/31, I'll have the Less Annoying CRM and Accomplish More Academy links listed. Now, if you're looking for a CRM, I do recommend taking a look at LACRM. Maybe give it a try. The link that's in the show notes is a referral link. It will grant you 60-day free trial instead of the normal 30-day free trial. If you do happen to go ahead and sign up, I'll have a free month, but there's no worries and there's no obligation. If it's right for you, then I say go for it. But if it's not, go with a system that fits the way your thought processes work. If you've enjoyed today's episode and found value in it, I do hope you would subscribe. I appreciate you listening, and until next time, have a fantastic week.